Guardians clap, Guardians clap. We'll take your 3 errors and we'll turn it into runs. Bybee does enough to get the win. Super Rosario and Josh Naylor's having a hell of a couple weeks now. Hot in Baltimore, carried it through in Minnesota, and he has been on fire. Naylor's been really, really good these last 10 games. He is just hair on fire good. They did enough tonight. Stefan, Clase, it was good. Wasn't perfect, but it was good. Bybee, you know what? Bybee, Damian looked like at one point was going to get suplexed out of there. You know what? He got it done. Ohio Sports Galaxy, good to see you. Great outfielding tonight. It really was. Progress, Jay Dizzle, I agree with you. Again, we flip-flopped. The Red Sox took advantage of our mistakes. Guardians took advantage of their mistakes tonight. Beamer rumors seem to be heating up. Hope we start winning. Charlie Plotner, history tells you. Kluber traded him to the Rangers. Clevenger traded him to the Padres. Bauer, for a multitude of reasons, traded him to the Reds. Cliff Lee, Sabathia, guys like this, they usually get going. How's that not a strikeout? Boy, that was annoying. He had strike 4 in that one, Ethan. Good to see you. Clase needs to pitch angry more often. Justin Klink, to your point, as soon as the umpire missed strike 3, Clase got pissed and took over the game. Will Benson walk off for the Reds. Good for Will Benson. The Twins were losing when I came on. I think they did lose tonight. Let me check real quick. But again, the big story, Bybee survived. He could have easily you kind of feel it's like, gosh, we're going to get blown out in the first inning. He survived that, got what he had to do. By the way, Tampa Bay wins, so another game picked up. Bybee needs a fastball command help. Logan, sure, but he's a young pitcher. He's going to figure it out. Definitely not perfect, no. Far from perfect, but they won. Naylor's on fire. Guardians clap from Japan, Benji. Who cares? The finals are on. Andrew, good to see you. When do we bring up Bo Naylor? I think in August, September. Who would you get for Shane Bieber? Hopefully a bat. A big bat. The Guardians don't need a haul of prospects. They need a big bat. And honestly, his numbers are down, but there is a shortage of starting pitching. So there will be teams who will go after Bieber. Panic mode deactivated. Yeah, exactly. DEFCON 5 lowered from 4. I know it's still early, 2.5. Yeah, still Boba. They play in the worst division in baseball. So there's plenty of time. The Joker's the best player on the team. There you go, Pro Burrow. Now win the series tomorrow. Fuck Boston and screw Minnesota. Tristan, that's the spirit. Straw is such a roller coaster. He really is. Guardians clap, Plant Percy. Guardians clap is right. They won. Naylor's playing. Yes, he is. Naylor's having a very, very good year. And by the way, it's good to see J-Ram. And I don't want to undersell this. Super Rosario. It's not a coincidence that the guy started hitting when he came back. I think he kind of knew his job was on the line. Rosario's had a look, it's only 2 games. But guy's played well since he's been back. Candioti's been awesome to listen to. I like Candioti. I miss Rosie, though. Good evening from DMV. I don't get to see my Guardians very much. Very impressed. Good to see you, C-Town. It was very impressive tonight. Great to have you on the channel, C-Town, born and bred. I think Terry is getting a little feel for this roster. Jay Dizzle, I think he is too. I think that the hardest thing about the Guardians is they've had meltdowns in the bullpen. They have. Stefan, meltdown. Yesterday was De Los Santos, just meltdown. Clase's had several meltdowns in big spots against the Mets, against some other teams. It's hard when your bullpen spits the bit. That's been the difference this year. It's been a lot of blown saves, a lot of blown leads by the bullpen. Umpame Clase, Mad John Potter said it to yourself. What's impressed you the most with our hitting lately? The biggest thing is we're finally getting some power. We're putting more pressure on the opponent. Gavin, I'm not seeing a lot of soft outs. Like tonight, 8 strikeouts. It didn't feel like 8 strikeouts. They kind of spread them out tonight. The nice thing about the Guardians is they're putting more pressure on the opponent, meaning they're forcing, like even Jimenez, he struck out, he got on first in that play, putting pressure on the opponent. That's something the Guardians have not been doing up until the Baltimore series. They've been doing it against Boston too. Gimme of the summary of the game tonight. Bybee survived the first inning. It looked like the Red Sox were going to score a bunch of runs. They only scored 1 run. He got out of there. The Red Sox made a bunch of errors in this game. The Guardians took advantage of it. Josh Naylor's on fire. He got a couple more big hits. He had another RBI in this game. Jose Ramirez got an RBI. And Super Rosario, a big night. Clase and Stephan gave up a hit apiece, but it was fine. They did what they had to do. Preferably a big right field bat. I like Brendan, though. Brendan finally had an 0 for night, Ohio Sports Talk. I go with, there you go, Michael. I'm not sure familiar with those names. Great win, A-Train. Same old Sonino, though. Yeah, I mean, Sonino's really struggling. He did get a hit tonight. But he is having some issues still when it comes to consistent hitting. I hear you, Ehal. We're back. It's in the writing. Well, Matasak, I'll take it for now. Of course, they always show the Orioles and the Nats here. Oh, my gosh. So sorry, C-Town. Hate that Straw can't consistently get on base. Straw is a weird player. And here's why, Jay Dizzle. He actually has a good WAR, and analytics, and the Guardians are very analytical. He's like 6th in the team in WAR. So because of that, they're playing him every day because they show when they play Straw, they have a better chance of winning. It doesn't show, though, with your eye test. So I know what you mean by that. Do you think Gavin Williams will get promoted if a Beeves deal is made? I think the bigger question here is, Peyton, is Kyle Quantrill going to be ready to come back pitching like Kyle Quantrill from last year? Gavin Williams will come up at some point, I'm sure, in September. The bigger point is, can Kyle Quantrill come back and pitch like Kyle Quantrill? Blake, the Guardians/Indians always breed pitching. He did have 2 errors, but Nail had a big night at the plate. Oh, yeah, I love Brendan. I would just prefer him in center field. I hear you, Ohio Sports Talk. I've been thinking about that, too, lately. He did have 2 errors in this game, but you know what? They got away with it. You're right about Naylor and his 2 errors. Actually, he only had 1. He only had 1 error tonight. Naylor had 1 error. The other error was to Jimenez. Jimenez, boy, he had a great week. First 2 games in the series. Not good. Not good. I liked what I heard today from the Browns. There's a lot of reports about how, look, it's only mini camp, whatever. But I like this new Browns, let's call it early vibe. I'm actually starting to get excited about the Browns, and I thought I was not going to get excited, but I'm starting to get there. I just wish Straw had a little bit more bat. I wish Straw had a lot more bat. He's a good player, he's a good dude and defensively, but he just doesn't hit consistently. Savali's been pretty good this year aside from that injury. Michael, when Savali is healthy, Savali is good. Thank you, Boston, for the errors. Yes, it was an very early 4th of July celebration from the Red Sox. LB Browns, always good to see you, and it was a great win. Jay Dizzle, you can see that Brennan has potential. I agree with you, Jay Dizzle. Brennan showed me a lot with one thing. Brennan had a terrible at-bat against the St. Louis Cardinals in the 8th inning. Terrible at-bat. The very next week, Brennan went on fire. He was on fire against Baltimore. He carried that over in the Minnesota series. And up until tonight, he's finally 0 for tonight. He's gotten a hit in every game aside from tonight. To have a crappy at-bat against St. Louis, but to shake that off and get on fire says a lot to me about Brennan. I like Brennan. Brennan's a gamer. Elijah Moore is looking like Watson's top chemistry in the videos I've seen. I concur with you about that. Miles and Z are going to be a great combo. I'm excited about Zadarius. I hope he stays healthy. I think Zadarius Smith's going to be a big help. What do the Browns need to do to be legitimate Super Bowl contenders? They need to learn how to close games out. The Browns, Gavin, had a hard time they had leads in the 4th quarter, and they had a hard time keeping the lead. They had a hard time stopping the run. If the Browns can stop the run, they have the defensive line should be very much improved. If they can learn how to close games out, there were multiple games last year where the Browns just couldn't get out of their own way to close the game out. If the Browns can close games, they could win 10 games, maybe 11. To me, it's about closing games out. Stefanski needs to be a better in-game manager, too, and play with emotion. And I'm starting to see that early on this team, which I like. There's a little bit more emotion to share. It's early. It's only June. But I like how the Browns are finally showing some emotion. Chubb saying he's playing for Jim Brown's excited me. I said the same thing. I want to thank you, my brother. You are biased. You're unbiased and a pro. You keep me in the loop. Thank you, C-Town. Love you, brother. Keep watching. Check out BelieveInTheLand.com. check out the YouTube page. Our defensive line is going to be a strength now. Thank God. It's true. Tomlinson, Sedarius, Smith, Ogbo from the Texans, all good ads. And Schwartz will help. They finally realized. I learned this from 2 GMs who work in ESPN. You build a defense on your defensive line, not the secondary. The Browns took note. What steps do we need to take this season to reach the goal Super Bowl? Win the division, number 1. Number 2 is close games out. Number 3 is allow your passing game to open up so you can run the ball late. That's what the Browns do best when they won in the COVID year. Stefanski has to get back to managing in the game, not managing the offense. Jim Schwartz, we trust. I agree with you about that. There's a big step needed here from Stefanski. Jim Schwartz. I like that, Justin Klink. That was funny. Yes, Jim Schwartz is going to be good. I like it. Thoughts on Watson so far in the offseason? He looks great. He walks the walk, talks the talk. It's hard not to get excited about the Browns. Last year, Connor Sack, he was going to throw the ball to David Bell and Anthony Schwartz. Not a lot, but enough where it made you scared. This year, his third and fourth outlet is Marquise Goodwin, Cedric Tillman, and Elijah Moore. It's a big difference. The weapons he's got with receivers are a big difference. Could Chubb be an MVP? Not on this team, so they're going to pass the ball. B. Cato, 330. Good to see you, my man. Talk to me when the guards are 500. Todd Hall, take note. Have a good night. Sign up for our YouTube page. Subscribe for an Albert Bell bat. Believe in the Land. BelieveInTheLand.com. Check it out. It's good shit. Have a good night. Good win from the guards.